So you've seen me take a full flat still photo, and you've now seen what it looks like, how to turn a flat still video in a moving video. We now have moving video formation available to us today, so we can do both now. We can do a moving video and we can do a flat still video that allows the photo to look as though it's moving. This is what that became of a flat still photo, making that into a moving video. Now this is that, just with me actually moving. So this is brought to you by the brand Viva Color, which is Dollarama affiliated, and all of the products are actually quite excellent, and I'm quite pleased and I'm quite surprised. So we're gonna start off with all of the bronzers that Viva Color has with Dollarama. This is 3 of the circle bronzer and 1 of the square bronzer. So we'll start with the square bronzer, seeing as I only have 1 of those. This is the Viva Color Pressed Powder Bronzer, and this is the shade half. They call this the shade half, not the shade 1. This is the shade half. This is called the shade half in the square version of the bronzer. This I would more use because of the shade not completely matching my skin. I would more use this as a under eye setting powder. That's how I would use that one. Only because of the shade not completely matching my skin, I would use this as a under eye setting powder. The rest of these, the shade matches my skin very, very well and very close enough. So I would use these as a full face setting powder. This is the Viva Color Bronzer, and this is the shade, this is Deep. This is the shade Deep for Viva Color, and this is the orange line. This is the orange line, and for the square one, this is the tan line. This is the orange line, and this is the shade Deep for the orange line in Viva Color. Okay, and this is the light shade for Viva Color, and it's also it's more of a highlighter than it is a light shade. So if you look closely enough, there's little flexes of sparkles in there, and sparkles and shimmers. So it's more of a highlighter than it is a bronzer. So let me just show that to you. So that to me is more of a highlighter than it's a bronzer, but it could be a bronzer with highlighter specks to it. But I use it more as I would use this more as a highlighter. But for others, they can use this as a lightweight setting, full face setting powder if you want to. But as you can see, it has shimmers to it for me, and this shimmer reminds me of the Maybelline Master Chrome, and I have it. The gold Maybelline Master Chrome, I have that one. It reminds me of that one. That's why I would rather use this personally as a highlighter than a full face setting powder, because it's way too close and way too similar to that of the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter that I do have. It's way too close in shade. Way too close. It's pretty much almost, this and the Maybelline Master Chrome, they're pretty much almost dead on exact to each other for my skin tone. They're dead on exact. Okay, so this is another Viva Color bronzer. Okay, this is this is about medium deep. This is medium deep. It has a lot of red to peach tones, and this is also, I would use this as a highlighter myself. This is close to Maybelline Molten Gold, the red one. This is close to Maybelline Molten Gold, the red one. This is the Molten Gold, the yellow factor or the gold factor. This is the Molten Gold, and so I would definitely use this more as a highlighter than I would use it as a bronzer because of the flexes of gold in there. So the only one that I would really truly use as a setting powder is this one, which is the pressed powder. Okay, I would only truly use it as the pressed powder, and I would use this as an under eye setting powder, and this is the closest that it gets to the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter. This is very close on to Fenty Beauty Pro Filter, the loose powder, so I would be able to correctly compare that to Fenty Beauty Pro Filter. And this is only $3, with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter being literally $32. So you're basically getting this at $3, which is 90%. 90%. So if you're thinking Sephora sale, think 90% Sephora sale with the Viva Color brand at Dollarama. That's 90%. $32 to $3, that's about 90%. That's how I would describe 90% off right there. That's how I would describe, personally, 90% off when it comes to Sephora. Viva Color $3, $32 Fenty Beauty. That's a $92 difference, or a 92% difference, I should say. 92% difference. Let's get into the bronzer duo combo. Bronzer duo combo, which is kind of like what's happening with the Too Faced situation right now. I don't have any of those products personally. I haven't purchased any of those because I like to test low end and high end and medium ratio products in order to do a full comparison purchasing view. And as you can tell, there are different versions of the packaging. You can see within this one, from these three to this one, the packaging is very different. It's not the same. So the product and the mica are very different from these three compared to this one. Okay, so let's start with these three first. These three remind me of, a lot of you say they remind you of the Too Faced. These remind me of the NARS blushes. The NARS blushes. These are very close and almost exact copycats of the NARS products for me. So, because I've never really dabbled in Too Faced products much, except for Too Faced eyeshadow palettes. I've never dabbled in Too Faced face products other than their eyeshadow palettes. So these more for me remind me of Too Faced, not Too Faced, NARS blushes. These more remind me of NARS blushes, because you can mix Too Faced eyeshadow palettes along with NARS blushes in order to get the story to be told in a full concept, which would make sense. So these, for me, which is from Viva Color, remind me of NARS concepted bronzer and NARS blushes. But a lot of you say they compare to Too Faced products, so that's fine, just as long as you're using the real products and not face paint. That's all I'm saying. So this is the shade 06, and this is the shade Blush. Shade 06 Blush. Okay? And this one is the same thing. It reminds me a lot of NARS. This is the this reminds me of NARS Orgasm Pink Blush. This is the shade 03 Desert. It reminds me of the NARS Orgasm Pink Blush. This one reminds me of NARS Velvet Rose. This one is where NARS began for me. It reminds me, this is the first one. NARS has more than one orgasm type blush, and this is just 1:1 of NARS orgasm blush. This is kind of like a 1:1 ratio. This is shade 01 pink. This is shade 01 pink, and it's dirty because I've been using it in a lot of videos this past week. I got a allergen attack. It's not a flu. I got an allergen attack, which is why I haven't done that Sahara shade yet. And you don't want to wear makeup with allergen attacks, otherwise you're gonna have to throw the product out and purchase a new one, especially if you've spent your money on a $200 bottle of foundation. You don't want to use that stuff when you're having a allergen attack or you have the cold and flu. Take a step away to make sure that your $200 that you spent on that bottle of foundation is absolutely well worth it, if you know what I'm saying. So that's fine with me. For these, I can pop into Dollarama $3 and purchase these at any time that I want to, because they're always there for $3 or maybe sometimes $2.50 to $2 depending on the net weight of the product. And so if I get sick and I end up using it, I don't mind throwing this one out and purchasing another one. But because I've studied the ratio as to what it takes to get a company or a brand like VIVA Color to get the price down to anywhere between $2 to $5, I prefer to save my money because I don't want them raising the prices up anymore, because I've had to throw out a product per se. I don't want them to have to raise up the prices in order for the customer or the consumer to have to pay more for the product, because I didn't wait until I got over a allergen attack or a flu symptom attack or a fever or a cold symptom attack. I don't want to have to be the reason for the consumer to be affected in pricing. So the Sahara look is coming. The winner has been picked already. The Sahara look is coming. However, I have to wait until my body is healthy enough so that my money doesn't go in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when my money goes in the garbage until you see the empty container, because that makes sense to me that my $2 is worth it, and then I can now go and purchase the NARS Orgasm product, because I can have this product in my memory bank to describe how close it is to the NARS Orgasm product when I chuck the empty container in the garbage, if you know what I'm saying. But that's what I think about when it comes to the consumerism of buying and investing into items, is making sure that all of the products are empty, and that I've been able to do that. Not my child. My child is not allowed to do that. I must be the one doing it, because I do not promote my videos to children, if you know what I'm saying. These videos are not promoted to children. No, they are not. These videos are not promoted to children. What I do is I take other products that compare to what I do with adults and promote those products to children in order to gain the children's attention and their investment in time frame. I do not promote makeup to children, and I do not promote skincare to children. So when the kids are watching my video, they get kid recommended friendly products in order to compare with makeup to that of adults. So I have thought about consumers of all ages, all ranges, all types, even alcoholics, even those who like